Contents. Preface. 1. Functions. 1.1. Functions and function notation. 1.2. Domain and range. 1.3. Rates of change and behavior of graphs. 1.4. Composition of functions. 1.5. Transformation of functions. 1.6. Absolute value functions. 1.7. Inverse functions. Chapter 1 Review. Chapter 1 Review exercises. Chapter 1 Practice test. 2. Linear functions. 2.1. Linear functions. 2.2. Graphs of linear functions. 2.3. Modeling with linear functions. 2.4. Fitting linear models to data. Chapter 2 Review. Chapter 2 Review exercises. Chapter 2 Practice test. 3. Polynomial and rational functions. 3.1. Complex numbers. 3.2. Quadratic functions. 3.3. Power functions and polynomial functions. 3.4. Graphs of polynomial functions. 3.5. Dividing polynomials. 3.6. Zeros of polynomial functions. 3.7. Rational functions. 3.8. Inverses and radical functions. 3.9. Modeling using variation. Chapter 3 Review. Chapter 3 Review exercises. Chapter 3 Practice test. 4. Exponential and logarithmic functions. 4.1. Exponential functions. 4.2. Graphs of exponential functions. 4.3. Logarithmic functions. 4.4. Graphs of logarithmic functions. 4.5. Logarithmic properties. 4.6. Exponential and logarithmic equations. 4.7. Exponential and logarithmic models. 4.8. Fitting exponential models to data. Chapter 4 Review. Chapter 4 Review exercises. Chapter 4 Practice test. 5. Trigonometric functions. 5.1. Angles. 5.2. Unit circle. Sine and cosine functions. 5.3. The other trigonometric functions. 5.4. Right triangle trigonometry. Chapter 5 Review. Chapter 5 Review exercises. Chapter 5 Practice test. 6. Periodic functions. 6.1. Graphs of the sine and cosine functions. 6.2. Graphs of the other trigonometric functions. 6.3. Inverse trigonometric functions. Chapter 6 Review. Chapter 6 Review exercises. Chapter 6 Practice test. 7. Trigonometric identities and equations. 7.1. Solving trigonometric equations with identities. 7.2. Sum and difference identities. 7.3. Double angle, half angle, and reduction formulas. 7.4. Sum to product and product to sum formulas. 7.5. Solving trigonometric equations. 7.6. Modeling with trigonometric equations. Chapter 7 Review. Chapter 7 Review exercises. Chapter 7 Practice test. 8. Further applications of trigonometry. 8.1. Non-right triangles. Law of sines. 8.2. Non-right triangles. Law of cosines. 8.3. Polar coordinates. 8.4. Polar coordinates. Graphs. 8.5. Polar form of complex numbers. 8.6. Parametric equations. 8.7. Parametric equations. Graphs. 8.8. Vectors. Chapter 8 Review. Chapter 8 Review exercises. Chapter 8 Practice test. 9. Systems of equations and inequalities. 9.1. Systems of linear equations. 2 variables. 9.2. Systems of linear equations. 3 variables. 9.3. Systems of nonlinear equations and inequalities. 2 variables. 9.4. Partial fractions. 9.5. Matrices and matrix operations. 9.6. Solving systems with Gaussian elimination. 9.7. Solving systems with inverses. 9.8. Solving systems with Cramer's rule. Chapter 9 Review. Chapter 9 Review exercises. Chapter 9 Practice test. 10. Analytic geometry. 10.1. The ellipse, 10.2. The hyperbola, 10.3. The parabola, 10.4. Rotation of axis, 10.5. Conic sections in polar coordinates. Chapter 10 Review. Chapter 10 Review Exercises. Chapter 10 Practice Test. 11. Sequences, Probability and Counting Theory. 11.1. Sequences and their notations. 11.2. Arithmetic sequences. 11.3. Geometric sequences. 11.4. Series and their notations. 11.5. Counting principles. 11.6. Binomial theorem. 11.7. Probability. Chapter 11 Review. Chapter 11 Review Exercises. Chapter 11 Practice Test. 12. Introduction to Calculus. 12.1. Finding limits. Numerical and graphical approaches. 12.2. Finding limits. Properties of limits. 12.3. Continuity. 12.4. Derivatives. Chapter 12 Review. Chapter 12 Review Exercises. Chapter 12 Practice Test. Appendix. A1. Triad answer section. B1. Odd answer section. C1. Index. D1.